Can I not marry? Audio web novel Chapter 8. Are you nosebleed? Nosebleed, why must you flow out? After Do Mama and Do Papa arrived, they were very satisfied with their son-in-law. Particularly Do Mama. Not only was she satisfied with this son-in-law, regarding her son-in-law's home, she was also very satisfied with the renovations. Do Mama: old man, look how good the sculpture works is. What a cute little chick. Do Papa tugged on Do Mama's sleeve. Honey, that's a Chinese crested dog. Do Mama impatiently waved her hand. Who cares if it's a chicken or a dog, it's very cute. Look. Its appearance is very much like our Do. Do Lacey on the side almost passed out. Mom, you are not my biological mother. Watching her parents so satisfied with the president, Do Lacey couldn't help but secretly ask the president, "What did you say to my parents?" Undoubtedly with her mom's personality, knowing her daughter had act first, then reporting later, it's almost certain that she would stamp with rage. She wouldn't be as benign countenance as she is now. So Do Lacey felt that the president must have said something to them. I said we want to get married. And then, nothing. Nothing. Do Lacey cried out. So just because of one sentence, her parents agreed to sell their own daughter. It cannot be justified. Lian Jun narrowed his eyes, tepidly asked, otherwise what else did you think they'll ask? Of course they'll ask if I was willing to or not. After Do Lacey finished speaking, she felt embarrassed. How can she speak what her heart wants? It's all thanks to the president's honest and harmless appearance that caused her to loosen her defenses. As she was complaining, the president took advantage of this and asked a question. Then are you willing to do it or not? Of course not. Well. The president's killer eyes shot through. It'll be strange if I'm not willing. After saying this, Do Lacey's heart despised herself 100 times. Hearing this, the president was finally satisfied and became gentle again, nodded, it's getting late, we should return to the room and sleep. Oh. Because she's unfortunately under the president's power, Do Lacey compromised again. She was very disappointed in herself, almost hung her head as she made her way upstairs. Upstairs, she instinctively walked to her room. Not even a few steps she suddenly felt a tight grip on her shoulder, and was dragged back. You didn't say good night to your parents. The president was ahead of her and quickly said. It was then did Do Lacey realized that her parents standing in front of the guest room door smiling at them. Dad. Mom. Good night. After she finished speaking, she was already in the president's bedroom. This is the president's bedroom. Do Lacey's feet felt weak, she almost fell down. When she finally calmed down, she found the president steadily undressing himself. First the suit, then the tie, and then his slender finger on the shirt buttons. Do Lacey was surprised and stunned. What are you looking at? The president's hand suddenly stopped at the clasp. His vision landed on Do Lacey. Do Lacey quiver. Only then did she recover and found that half of the president's shirt was undone and his muscular chest was exposed. This scene. Do Lacey couldn't help but swallow her saliva. I asked you. The president suddenly came over and stared infinitely into her eyes. Do Lacey couldn't resist it and lowered her gaze to his chest. Not only was his chest muscular, it was well proportioned, which brought endless sexiness. Do Lacey didn't know why, but her mind suddenly flashed a forbidden word, alluring stimulus. Rubbing it once will increase your blood pressure. His thin lips suddenly curved unconsciously, touching the hidden happiness in his eyes. Lian Jun's hands extending out and wanted pulled her chin. Before his hands could touch her, Do Lacey suddenly took a step back, and stared at Lian Jun in horror. Before he had time to react, Do Lacey had rapidly turned around and ran out crazily. She ran to her bedroom door before using her fingers to touch her nose. Frighteningly, there was a stream of blood. Du Lacey sighed. Fortunately, she ran fast enough, or else the blood would have flowed out. Fortunately, it wasn't in front of the president, otherwise it would have been very shameful. Du Lacey let out a breath of relief. However, in the other side of the wall, Lian Jun's startled eyes instantly cooled down, and hum a long noise. This is the second time. The next day, the scheduled wedding ceremony. Du Lacey made her way downstairs, but didn't see the president. Instead, she was caught by her parents first. Du Mama pulled her daughter over and said, "You brat, why are you up so late? Aren't you aware today is such a big day? Look, still wearing pajamas. Oh, look at these pouches on your eyes. Did you go to North Korea to send missiles last night?" Facing her mom's nagging complaints, Du Lacey had a bitter face. "I know. In fact, it's all the president's fault." As soon as she closed her eyes, she saw the president's seductive chest, which made her suffer excessive bleeding, which then lead to poor sleep, or else she wouldn't get up so late. All in all, the president is to blame. The thing that made Du Lacey uncomfortable was that the culprit actually didn't appear until she wore the wedding dress and did her makeup. Only then did the president give old Yu a call and said he was already at the church. What kind of person is that? He didn't even have a little groom's consciousness, didn't even come to meet the bride, too incompetent. Be careful, she'll escape. Running away of course is impossible. Who told her parents to be loyal to the enemy camp? Du Lacey was clipped left and right by her parents to the church. From afar, they could see a group of people standing in the middle of the church's entrance. Dressed in a white suit was the mighty Lian Jun. Seeing the president, Du Lacey's belly was full of anger. The president is a little too good-looking. Wearing a white suit emphasized his slender stature, just like those models' advertising suits. Really, it's too perfect. Looking at herself, Du Lacey couldn't help but think, is her chest a little flat? Her heels are slightly short. And her waist, perhaps it should be more slim. As the saying goes, comparisons are odious. Now Du Lacey thought deeper. She felt that she should never have stood here. She must be skull-broken to absurdly be with the president. Just as she was regretting, a hand suddenly stretched out to her. Du Lacey reflexed and looked up at the hand and stared at the president's deep eyes.